Welcome to Inland and Coastal Boat Life. We're a couple of nomads who recently sold their home to pursue a dream of life on the water. Follow along with us as we learn how to minimize stuff and maximize living abundantly on the water. In this episode, we start out with a clip showing us arriving in Wilbur, Washington. And here is a scene where we are headed north out of Wilbur towards Keller Ferry. This is a new area that I have not traveled before, and we encountered a very steep grade going down into Keller Ferry. This portion of the video is sped up 4 times faster than real time, and the speed limit on this portion of the road, I believe, is 30 miles an hour. We traveled probably 10 to 20 miles an hour most of the way. Fortunately, there was not much traffic, and I don't believe we held very many people up for very long. The next 5 minutes of this video is a real-time clip of us putting the boat into the water. Right here is where I always typically put the truck into 4 low. I like to maximize traction and the potential of my rear wheels becoming slippery, losing traction as I back into the water. Like I said, this next 5 minutes is this process. If you want to jump ahead, you are welcome to do so. Before I get to this point or in this area, a lot of times I will want to take my safety chain off and give myself just a little bit of slack. There is a huge amount of forces with this boat in connection with a pretty long trailer, and as it pivots, it can really put a lot of force on the front of the boat. So I always like to give myself just a few inches of slack. And then when I actually am at the edge of the water there, I completely release it. And as I come into the water here, Shyla will be having the boat in her complete control, which is often a little bit stressful for her. She looks at this boat as her home and wants to be careful with it. And I always try to get to her as quick as I can to work together. Here we're wanting to pull the boat back from the potential of being caught on the front of the boat as I would drive away. So, and then just go ahead and secure it at that point so that there's no chance of hitting the front of the boat on the rear of the trailer. The trailer is quite long. So at this point here, I am putting the truck into neutral and shifting it back into two-wheel drive to reduce the wear and tear on 4 low on dry pavement. Some of these ramps can have a pretty sharp location at the top, and I have been on a ramp already where I have scraped the trailer midway between my hitch and the axles. So I'm always kind of conscious of that. Here I'm considering parking where everybody else is parking, but I decide since I'm going to be out on the water for likely a week, I'm going to move away further to reduce congestion in the most prime parking area. This is a nice large parking lot though. Okay, you ready?
Yep. Okay.
That was pretty good, didn't it?
I think so.
The dragon?
Not really, no.
This is the location of our first night at anchor on Lake Roosevelt. As we pulled in here, there was a deer there on our starboard side. And after we kind of got settled in, he decided to return and lay down, and then we had several others show up. Not exactly sure how many deer came and went here, but seemed like every time we looked, there was another one. So we turned around and one deer went to two deer, went to three deer. Just hanging out here on the beach. They liked this little spot that we thought was kind of nice too, I guess. And they're okay with us, and we're okay with them. In this video, we are leaving our first night's anchorage, which was just before Hell's Gate Island. And this right here shows Hell's Gate Canyon. We proceeded on a couple miles from the north shore line, where these locations are, over towards the south shore, and which is also located at Jones Bay Campground, and just outside of Jones Bay Campground is Jones Bay. A little bit breezy today. A little bit of white caps. Nothing really violent at all, but just a slow, squirrely ride. A lot of white cap though. A lot of little breaking waves and so there is a juvenile bald eagle up there in that nest with the parents arriving occasionally. Rather spectacular spot that we've been here. We're here yesterday, most of the day. It does have a little bit of rollers coming in from the side. A little bit unpleasant. We've had pretty much, I think all day yesterday, about 3 or 4 boats, and right now 2 relatively smaller, like fishing boat, aluminum style fishing boats went flying by. Been quite pleasant. We did end up staying on Lake Roosevelt 1 complete week, and in this particular bay, Jones Bay, we stayed 5 nights of our 6 or 7 nights for the week. And in this video, we are showing only the first 3 to 4 days. And in the next video, we will show the rest of the time that we spent on Lake Roosevelt and some of the things that we did.
Bruce and I brought the boat in through that red and green big old metal, steel, whatever it is. We came in through here and we went all the way back past this, way back in there. It's actually not that far, it's just around the next corner. There's another spot you could anchor, but it's so deep, like it's hard to anchor in that narrow of a space with that depth.
This is another angle of the bald eagle nest, and there is a juvenile in the nest. This will be the second night that we stayed here at this little bay. Back in behind there is a little campground. I don't believe there's anybody there. Today, I think 2 boats came in here and left just for a few minutes. And only about a half a dozen, maybe as many as 10 boats came by on the lake today that I seen. So, not a lot of action. Pretty nice, tranquil spot for yesterday and today. We'll probably leave tomorrow morning. Little early morning visitor for a drink of water. This is only the 3rd deer that we've seen at this location, right here on the beach. And bald eagle just landed on that corner snag over there, dead tree. I think this deer must smell our bacon and eggs and is coming towards us to investigate. This is the Keller Ferry making its way to the south coast of Lake Roosevelt. Or would that be the south shoreline? It is a free ferry that pretty much runs continuously back and forth, it appears. Yeah, go ahead and do the front. Let the water run a little bit, and I mean, who knows?
Did you see the bottom of the barrel?
Nope.
I'm just curious.
This is just east of Keller Ferry, heading towards the Grand Coulee Dam. We just stopped at the Keller Ferry Marina and got some water in our tanks. We currently hold 30 gallons, but I have a brand new 30-gallon tank that I need to finish hooking up, and then we will have double the capacity, which will be very nice for more extended cruising. This right here is what my Ranger Tug R25 Classic looks like at approximately maximum continuous cruising speed of around 12 to 13 miles an hour. We do this occasionally to clean out the turbo, but our preference is to go slow and get way better fuel mileage at a speed of around 7 miles an hour. Between 7 and 8 miles an hour, the boat burns around 1 gallon of fuel an hour. And if we go slower than that, the fuel economy very quickly climbs even higher.
I was wanting to show you guys the upper portion of the Grand Coulee Dam. Much more impressive if you are on the other side of the dam. But this is what it looks like up above. I, for over a year, worked at the Brewster Hospital, and every week I drove through Grand Coulee here, right past the dam, and the roads climb up to the right and allow a pretty nice view down over the dam. Right now we're just heading across in front of the dam, going over to a boat launch. Going to see if we can get fortunate enough to find any trash barrels. It's always nice to keep our small amount of trash off the boat as frequently as possible. They began construction of the Grand Coulee Dam, I believe, about 95 years ago, and it took them around 8 years to build. And then in the late 60s through the early 70s, another 8 years, I guess they did a major expansion project to it as well. Banks Lake is up that hill, and they utilize that as a reservoir as well. We may be going up there on Banks Lake next week, depending on how brave I want to be. Banks Lake, the water level can fluctuate. It's reported. Typically, though, I believe that's more in the late fall or late summer and fall. But there's also a lot of rock hazards in Banks Lake. So we'll see how things progress in the decision of go or not go. But beautiful day today. Currently 75 degrees at a little bit before 11, and we'll probably hit the mid-80s today. So by our standards, quite warm, but it could be worse.
5 minutes in this video are real time pulling the anchor up from a little bit deeper depth than we normally anchor in, and you are welcome to skip ahead 5 minutes if you would like to the last couple minutes of cruising away from this anchorage. Also, we do want to say thank you for watching. We are very humbled with the amount of people that are tuning in and are very grateful for all the new subscribers. We appreciate the comments that people are leaving and the advice and tips, and we're very grateful that you find our travels interesting to watch. Feel free to let us know the types of viewing you enjoy. As it may be obvious, we tend towards
We have so much line
more
out that you'll
nature
have to check
and
the locker
real nature
occasionally.
sounds. There are no AI or edited sounds being brought into these videos, such as bird sounds or anything like that. It is all what we are hearing when we video, as doing right now. We do some voiceover. Otherwise, what you see is what you get. I hope everybody has a great day today.
Is the end there dirty? Up over the top. Is that dirty? Should I let it back down in the water? Am I in the water? We might be off the bottom, so I'll just see if I can. We're just running free. Great. I'll just wash it off a little bit. Since we got, yeah, we're over 40 feet of depth. I'm sorry. Yeah. You like that better or not? Yeah, you don't have to screw it on, just clip it on if you want, if that makes any sense. You want me to put it back down? It's against. You just have to, yeah, fold that down. That's okay. You did great. Thank you. Yeah. Good job. Okay.